when the fire over the battlefield fades and the serpent is cast down forever. The world does not return to silence without purpose. The dust of Babylon's ruin settles like ashes across the plains, and the sea winds carry the last echoes of her songs and her merchants' cries. But Yahweh does not leave his people wandering among the shattered stones of rebellion. A different mountain rises before them, a mountain not shaped by human hands, a city whose gates hold steady, whose walls stand straight, whose foundations are marked with Yahweh's name. The fall of the harlot city becomes the clearing of the ground for the life of those who belong to Jerusalem. The world around them still carries Babylon's imprint. Her marketplaces, her festivals, her ways of trade, her hunger for gain, her thirst for luxury, her twisted boundary stones. These habits linger in the nations like smoke that clings to garments long after the fire. But the remnant who carry Yahweh's name walk a different path. Their steps move with the memory of Zion's ridges. Their households stand like small tents of Jerusalem scattered across foreign soil. They lift clean hands not to the beast or to the golden cup of the harlot, but to Yahweh, whose covenant binds them to a straight and steady way. They live among Babylon's markets without drinking her wine. Their scales weigh true even when the nations cheat for profit. Their hands refuse to join the trade that devours the life breath of others. Their feet do not walk the festival roads where covenant boundaries are cast aside. They do not bend their necks under the yoke of alliances built on fear or greed. Instead, their allegiance rests on the mountain Yahweh chose, a loyalty sealed not by ink or iron, but by obedience that can be seen and heard in the gates and in the daily labor of their hands. They guard the boundary stones that Babylon moves. When the world widens its fields by deceit, they restore the lines to their rightful place. When the courts of nations twist justice for the powerful, they stand at the gate and speak straight. When wealth can be gained through silence, they open their mouths with honest witness. Their lives become markers of Yahweh's rule in a world that once bowed to the beast. They bear the mark of the Lamb, not on their skin but in their actions. Their foreheads shine with public allegiance to Yeshua through words that honor him, through choices that reveal whose name they carry. Their hands are marked by the work they do, feeding the poor, defending the stranger, blessing their households, keeping Sabbath rest, and walking the covenant rhythms given by Yahweh long before Babylon raised her towers. Where the beast enforced buying and selling as the measure of allegiance, the citizens of Jerusalem practice generosity that loosens chains and frees the oppressed. Their houses become small outposts of Zion. At dawn, they speak Yahweh's words. At dusk, they remember his deeds. Their children learn the stories of Abraham leaving the land of idols, of Israel walking out from Egypt's furnace, of prophets crying out at the gates of Jerusalem. Their tables are altars of thanksgiving, not feasts of excess. Their gates become places where justice is weighed, not where bribes pass from hand to hand. Every day becomes a small ascent toward Yahweh's mountain. And though Babylon's shadow stretches across the nations, the remnant does not tremble. They know the rider on the white horse has triumphed. They know the beast and the false prophet have met their end. They know the serpent's chain has been locked and his final rebellion crushed by fire from heaven. They walk as those who have already seen the new city descending. A city with walls of jasper, foundations marked with the names of the apostles, gates never closed, and light that needs no lamp. They walk as citizens of Jerusalem even while dwelling in lands that bear Babylon's dust on their stones. The world still trades, still builds, still celebrates, still seeks ascent. But the remnant sees beyond it. Their treasure is not in the markets or in the courts of the nations. Their hope is not in empires or in kings who rise and fall. Their path is the ancient path Yahweh set before Abraham, a path marked by obedience, covenant loyalty, and trust in the one who rules from Zion. This book ends where the story of Scripture always leads, not with theory, not with sentiment, but with a path beneath the feet. Two cities rise, one built by human pride, the other chosen by Yahweh. One drinks the life breath of nations, the other gives life breath to the weary. One lifts a cup of sorcery, the other pours a cup of blessing. One rises in rebellion, the other endures in covenant devotion. One collapses in fire, the other descends in glory, and every life, every household, every gate, every step must choose where to dwell. Babylon rises and falls. Zion rises and remains. The covenant path lies open, and choose the city, walk the path, carry the name.